Foxtrot Bravo Bravo, pull up and go around.
Go around, Foxtrot Bravo Bravo.
Tower India Echo Lima, downwind 13, touch and go.
India Echo Lima number 3, follow Cessna left base, turning 1 mile final.
India Echo Lima.
Foxtrot Bravo Bravo Tower, fly runway heading.
Fly runway heading, Foxtrot Bravo Bravo.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land runway 13.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, change of plans, crossover midfield, join right downwind runway 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, crossover midfield, join the right downwind for 13.
Greetings, welcome back to Simair Flyer, Dane Simair. And this today is the last leg of the Great Fraser River Run. This will be leg number 8, and it finalizes at the mouth of the Fraser River, and I'll show you on the map what that looks like. So we are situated in Hope. This is where we left off. Let me get the little map open first. So we're situated at the Hope Airport where we left off on leg 7. And so today we're heading back to the Fraser River. We're going to scoot down along the Fraser River, and we will intersect with the Trans-Canada Highway 1, and we'll follow that over to the city of Chilliwack, and we might do a touch and go landing there at Chilliwack, and then from Chilliwack we'll head back up to the Fraser River right up here, and we will go over here to this island. We'll make a right turn to continue along the Fraser River, and we will come to Fort Langley. I think we'll just do a flyover at Fort Langley. In fact, we'll probably just stay along the river and we can see Fort Langley from the river. Fort Langley during the war was a Air Force base, and it was used for a lot of aircraft, military aircraft arriving and departing, and they did a lot of training at Fort Langley. And I just lost my position where I was right here at Fort Langley. So from here we'll just do a flyby, but we will do a touch and go at Pitt Meadows Airport right here. We'll come in on runway 26 left. And from Pitt Meadows, we'll continue along the Fraser River, and all along this area there are some nice bridges that have been modeled very nicely by the author, and they were picked up from the FlightSim.to add-ons library. Anyway, we'll continue along the Fraser River till it gets to the very end. This is known as Strait of Georgia. Right along here is the Strait of Georgia. This is Vancouver Island is right. I'll just move this map a little bit. This is all Vancouver Island. The Strait of Georgia is here with the channel, and this is the Pacific Ocean. This is Washington State. The Olympic Mountains are right here. Beautiful place to visit. But as I said, we will end up at the mouth of the Fraser. We'll fly a little bit southeast to pick up the VOR, and we will make our destination at Boundary Bay Airport, Charlie Zulu Bravo Bravo, and we will land on runway 07 right up here. So that's our plan. I'm hoping that this flight will be half the time of the other flights. I know the other legs have been a little long, but I appreciate you guys checking in and having a quick look at my video. I'm not sure if you watched the whole session of it, but this flight should only be I'm guessing maybe 30 minutes. So without any further ado, the aircraft is all been checked. It has gone through the run-up. Everything is ready to go. We have our trusty pilot with us, Bubba the Bulldog. And we are in the A2A Piper Comanche, the 250 horsepower, beautiful aircraft to fly. And I'm getting much better at landing it. I wouldn't say I'm a pro yet. Never will be a pro. But anyway, let me finish the checklist before we head out to runway 25. So let's see here. We've got we've done the run up. That's all good. Okay, our trim is set to neutral. Transponders are all set. The flaps are one notch of flaps. Landing light is on. Strobe lights are on. The pitot heat is on, and we'll turn the fuel pump on. And we're just going to leave. Well, no, we won't turn the fuel pump on until we're actually right at the threshold of the runway to take off. I've turned the carb heat on. And we'll head out to runway 25 now. So we're going out past the Vancouver Soaring Association office and hangar. Hopefully they'll have some students in today to give them some training on glider flying. It's a nice day to fly. Just a few clouds in the sky. We've got a little helicopter sitting there. I think it is. Okay, so we are at the threshold. We just need to turn around. So at this point, I'm going to turn the fuel pump on. I'll close the carb heat. So the procedure for takeoff is full power, which amounts to about 2,700 RPM. Will rotate at 85 miles per hour. This aircraft is in miles per hour and not in knots. Excuse me. And oops, make our turn to the center line, although there really is no center line, but this aircraft makes beautiful sound going over the grass, doesn't it? Just put our park brakes on for a moment, catch my breath. So as I said, we're going to rotate at 85 miles per hour. Once airborne, assuming there's no emergencies, we will tap the brakes to stop the wheels from spinning, and we'll retract the gear and raise the retract the flaps. If there was an emergency, we would land straight ahead because there's lots of room to land. So without any further ado, let's get this show on the road. Power is advanced. Throttles are full forward. Airspeed is alive. We have 60 miles per hour. We have 70. We have 80, and we will rotate. And we are airborne, and we do have a positive rate of climb. In fact, we have a rate of climb of 1,000 feet per minute, so we will tap the brakes. We will retract the landing gear, and we will retract the flaps. Let's put a little bit of music on for this flight. So we're coming up to 1,000 feet. I think we'll keep it at about 2,500 feet. So we're heading down the Fraser. We'll retard hold the climb throttle to 24 inches of mercury and 2,400 RPM. That gives us a good smooth climb. So I'll just quickly show you on a little nav map where we are. Here we are, heading down the Fraser. Trans-Canada Highway is on our left, and Highway 7 is on our right. So we're coming up to 2,500 feet, or 2,300 right now. Now it's a little bit hazy sky ahead of us. So let's lower the nose and try to hold it at about 2,500 feet. We'll turn the power down to 22 inches of mercury and 2,200 RPM. So with that, the carb heat can come on for a little bit. The fuel pump can be turned off. Let's just check our settings here. We have 2,200 RPM on the props and 22 inches of mercury manifold pressure. We're at 140 miles an hour. We can push it up a little bit to 160. All is looking good. Let's just switch back over to little nav map for a moment. Just to make sure everything is on schedule. So we're going to come down here, and we're going to kind of follow Trans-Canada Highway keep it on our left and keep Fraser River on our right, or directly above it. And then we'll do a touch and go landing at Chilliwack, right here. That's the Trans-Canada Highway there, Highway 1. And this is the mighty Fraser below us. Yeah, we're up to 160 miles per hour right now, maintaining about 2,500 feet. Let's do a quick check on our instruments, our engine instruments. We've got fuel pressure is good. We're using the right fuel tank because the left tank has 15, maybe 16 gallons, and the right tank has about 30 gallons, almost 28 maybe. Fuel oil pressure is good. Amps are good. The battery is fine. Oil temperature is good. Everything's good. Let's just check our tablet and see what the engine is showing. Everything looks good there. I could retard the lean the mixture just a little bit. Just not even, I mean, we're not at 3,000 feet, so we really don't need to lean the mixture, but there, I've just leaned it out a little bit. It'll give us better fuel economy. So to our right is Harrison Hot Springs, right over here. That's a wonderful place to visit. It's got very hot springs coming up, and the Harrison Hot Springs Hotel is the best place to stay when you're in there. It has a really nice beach. It's a very touristy spot. Harrison Hot Springs. If you're ever in Lower British Columbia, make sure you head out there and check it out. Now we are going to be coming up to an area called Bridal Falls. Again, if you're in this Lower British Columbia area, the Lower Mainland as we call it, there's an area out here just before Harrison Hot Springs called Bridal Falls, and Microsoft hasn't done a good job of showing it, but we are right the fall, I'm just going to dip my wing down. Yeah, the falls come down from here, from the top of the mountain, and works their way down, and when you're at the bottom, it's the most beautiful waterfall that you could experience. It's just like a bridal veil, hence the name Bridal Falls. Okay, we're going to be heading into Chilliwack here any moment. This is Trans-Canada Highway 1, and you can see where it goes along and then it turns to the left a little bit. The runway is right there. So let's prepare for a touch and go at Chilliwack Airport. So we're going to increase the mixture, full mixture, increase the props, full RPM, and we'll reduce the power. Just start heading down. Oh. Make sure the carb heat is on for the approach to land. And for pre-landing, we should have the fuel pump on. So let's get ourselves lined up. Foremost, let's get ourselves a little bit lower. We've got a couple thousand feet to lose. Can't lower the gear just yet. Our speed is just a little bit too fast, so let's lower our speed. Get it under 140, and I will put the gear down now. And we're in the flap range, so I'll put in 1 notch of flaps. Fuel pump is on, carb heat is on. We're at 120 miles per hour. We really should be down around 110 to 100. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing a little bit of a side slip. Doing a side slip to get us down to about 500 feet. and at the same time raising the nose to lower the speed. Alright, this should be good right here. Okay, we don't need to do the side slip anymore. Okay, let's get ready for a landing. We have full flaps. We're at 100 miles per hour. We need to lower that to about 80. We're crossing over Trans-Canada Highway. Nope, wasn't paying attention. It's getting too low. Alright, let's see if we can do this gently. No, not gently, I said. Gently. One little bounce. Okay. Alright, let's full throttle. Okay, so that wasn't the greatest landing. There were a couple bounces in there, but it was 116 feet per minute. I had a 4-degree up-nose pitch. My wings were level. I actually touched the ground at 31 knots, which is extremely low. It's considered a perfect landing, but I don't know if I would call it a perfect landing. Because those bounces weren't good. Anyway, our next one we'll try to do better. Okay. I think this airplane wants to have a little dance to that tune. Why not? Why not? We are heading to the Fraser River right now to continue our flight westerly. We're up to 1,000 feet almost. I guess I should have brought my landing gear up, shouldn't I? There's no point leaving that down. Not yet, anyway. I think we'll skim along at about 1,500 feet. Why not? Although, no, let's go up to 2,500. We can have a better view of the surrounding area. So this right here is called Chilliwack Mountain, even though it's really not a huge mountain. But that's the town of Chilliwack behind us, and that's what they call their Chilliwack Mountain. So just to give everyone a little bit of a heads up, when this tour is over, which it will be over in a few moments, well, maybe 20 minutes or so. The next time I fly, I'm going I'm going to do the tour of the islands. And I don't mean the Caribbean islands. I mean the islands of the Pacific Northwest. I live on Vancouver Island, right outside of the city of Victoria. Victoria is the capital of the province of British Columbia. But this whole Pacific Northwest area is so beautiful, and we really should explore the islands on the US side. We've done enough flying in Canada. We're going to head south, get our passports out, and cross the border, and do some island hopping around the San Juan Islands, and there's many islands to visit in the Pacific Northwest. So that's going to be what I'd like to do, and those flights will be really short flights. They might be, I don't know, they could be a 10-minute flight, 15-minute flight, no more than a 20-minute flight. So we'll just do short hops and just explore the islands. So that's the next plan. But in the meantime, we are scooting along the Fraser River. Let's just have a look at a little nav map and see what's taking place. Yeah, and we're going to be doing a flyby here. So let's see, Fort Langley Airport, where we're going to do the flyby, is right there. So let's get ourselves over there. We're not going to do a touch and go or anything. We're just going to fly by it. So let's just lose some altitude here quickly. Oh, we don't want to red line it, do we? Let's do a side slip. Let's do a side slip. Let's side slip on the left wing instead of the right wing. Up. Settle down, not too much. Okay. Alright, let's stabilize the aircraft now. Let's stabilize the aircraft. And there's Fort Langley. There's Fort Langley Airport, a former Air Force base during the war. It's a long runway, as you can see. Yep. In fact, that runway is 5,500 feet long. Alright, let's continue down the river, because our next stop is going to be a touch and go. A touch and go at Pitt Meadows. And that's coming up very shortly after we go around this bend. You can see that bridge out there is called the Golden Ears Bridge. And that's been depicted very well by the author of this add-on. I'm gonna put my gear down, put in one notch of flaps. The airport is right here. And we're going to try and do a little bit better touch and go this time than we did at Chilliwack. Okay, we're at 120 knots. We can reduce that to 110. That's Vancouver, city of Vancouver, way off in the distance there. Let's put in another notch of flaps. Let's bring it down to 100 miles an hour now. Let's get her down to about 500 feet. I want to try and make a steady approach this time. We got a construction crane right there that we're passing by. Let's bring it down to about 90 miles per hour now. Put in the last notch of flaps. Okay, nice and slow, nice and gentle. We're at about 85 miles per hour now. 400 feet. And lose a bit more altitude. We're a little bit high. 300 feet. Oh, the birds are coming by. There they are. It was an eagle. 2 eagles just went by. Okay, that's about the right altitude. A little bit more power. We're at 80 miles an hour right now. Try and keep it right about there. Right about there. Let's lower the power a little bit more. And a little bit more again. Raise the nose, flare, 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 flare. Hold it. Nice touchdown. Well, there's quite an applause going on right now. Let's get ourselves off the runway. We're at 60 miles an hour, 70, 80, rotate. We are airborne. Okay, we have a positive rate of climb at 1,000 feet per minute. We can tap the brakes, retract the gear, and we can retract the flaps. So we're going to just continue along the Fraser River, but before we do that, let's see what our landing was like. Well, a little bit better than the last one, 110 feet per minute. We had a higher flare than Chilliwack. We have 6-degree flare. Our wings were level, which is a good thing. We touched the ground at 50 knots. And we pulled 0.94 of a G. So that's not a bad score. I'll take it. I'll take it. Alright, coming up ahead of us is what's known as the Port Mann Bridge. It's also been modeled very, very well by the author of this add-on. It looks just like that in real life. We're going to hang in about 1,000 feet along here, because there's a couple more bridges we're going to go past before we get to the mouth of the river. So the city of New Westminster, popularly known as New West, is right over here. The Portman Bridge is a suspension bridge with two suspending towers. This will be the city of Surrey, right over here. And that's the big city of Vancouver off in the distance. Vancouver International Airport is right there. In fact, if you look really carefully, you can see the approach lights right there. And the mouth of the Fraser River is right there. So we are almost at the end of our journey, other than the landing at Boundary Bay Airport. So we're coming up to the what's known as the Patella Bridge. We went up to 2,000 feet, didn't we? I wasn't paying attention. Let's just lose some altitude here. That's the Patella Bridge coming up. Again, it has been modeled just like it looks in real life. The first bridge that you're seeing is the car bridge, or the vehicle bridge. The second bridge is what's known as the TransLink train. It's a monorail. It's driverless. It's all automated, and this is the commuter train that goes all the way through Vancouver and all of the lower mainland areas. The next and final bridge is coming up, and that's called the Fraser Bridge, named after Simon Fraser, one of the great explorers of this area. We're just going to keep to the right so we can see it on our left side. We're scooting along nicely at 160. Okay, we're back to 1,000 feet. So that's the Fraser Bridge. Its two twin towers and the suspension cables. So, just quickly talk about the Fraser River. If any of you saw the very first leg, where we started at the source of the Fraser River. And the source of the Fraser River, if you didn't see that video, leg one, is way up in the Rocky Mountains, and it starts from a very tiny trickle of an underground spring, and it just kind of trickles up through the ground, and it just makes its way downstream. There's Vancouver International Airport right over there. That'll be runway 26 left right there. 26 right is over there. So we are already tuned into the VOR that'll take us to Boundary Bay. So once we get to the very end of the river here, we'll just head a little bit south. Has a little bit better view of the airport, although the international airport, although you can't really see it that well from this low altitude and distance away from it. So, this is the Strait of Georgia that we're looking at here. That landmass is Vancouver Island, and you can't really see it. Well, yes, you can. That is Washington State over there. That's Washington State. And that's where we're going to be flying during the various island tours all throughout this area over in the United States. And past... oh, we're getting into some mist. I think we better turn south. Past Vancouver Island is, of course, the Pacific Ocean. All right, let's dial in our VOR. We're on 1159, which is the right frequency. And we're going to be landing on runway 07. But we need to get to that VOR first, and it is over here. In fact, what I've done is I've kind of short-circuited this whole thing and didn't get to the VOR. So let's just head west a little bit here, because of those misty clouds, I made a left turn to go south, which took me away from the VOR. So I'm just gonna head back. To the VOR, which it's telling me I have to head this way to the VOR. But let's lose some altitude, because these clouds we're not supposed to be flying in these clouds as we are VFR. So let's just get down. Let's go in between the clouds here. Within 5 minutes we'll be on the ground, ladies and gentlemen. Right now we're 3.7 nautical miles from the VOR. And not that we're going to go right to the VOR, but we're going to head towards it, and then we're going to turn around and take up a heading of 074. We want to intercept the 074 radio of the VOR. And that's the direction we need to go in. So I'm going to turn the CDI needle to 074. 074. And our heading bug to 074. Because we're going to be landing on runway 07. Alright, we're at 2,700 feet. We still need to lose some altitude, which we are doing at a gentle rate. At this point, I'm going to turn onto that heading of 074. You can see that CDI needle is coming in quickly. And there we are. We've intercepted the VOR. We just need to lose some altitude now. Let's put our gear down. And that runway, we are way too high, just to let you know. Because there's the airport, and there's our runway. So we just need to lose a ton of altitude here. So Bubba, the Bulldog, and my passengers in the back seats, hold on, because I'm descending rapidly. But still maintaining a lower airspeed, but just descending rapidly. Okay, I'm going to put some carb heat on. Alright, this is getting a little better now. Now we need to lose speed. We need to lose speed. 120, we need to get down to 110. We should be at 200 feet as we cross these trees. Right now we're at 600 feet. That's okay, we'll make it. We'll make this happen. And this is our final destination, folks. Okay, we're at the right altitude now. And we're coming down to 100 miles per hour, which is looking good to me. Yeah, we've got 2 reds, 2 whites on the Pappy. We're at 100 miles an hour. We should be down to 90. So we'll cut the power, raise the nose a little bit. Raise our nose a little bit, raise our nose a little bit. Okay. Came down too fast. I knew I came down too fast. I'm getting an applause again. I don't know why, because that was too fast a landing. Well, let's get up to the exit, the taxi exit here. And when we get off the runway, we'll have a look at the statistics of that landing. Let's retract our flaps. Nope, don't turn just yet, Dane. Okay, now we can turn in. Okay, let's just stop here for a quick minute and clean up the airplane. Let's stop here for a minute. Okay, so we can turn our landing light off, leave our taxi light on, take the strobes off, fuel pump comes off, pitot heat comes off, carb heat gets closed, flaps are retracted, and the trim is back to neutral. Okay, let's head into the parking spot. And just show you on a little nav map where we are. Alright, let's see if we can park. Let's see, where could we park? You know what? Let's take this very end here to park. Do a tight left. Okay. We have landed. Parking brakes are on. Mixture is full lean to starve the engine of fuel. Shut it down. Props are retarded. Throttles are retarded. Magnetos are turned off. beacon light is off. Landing light is off. The fuel selector should be closed. Fuel selector is closed. Switches are off. Cabin light can come off. And our master battery can come off. And with that, let's just pop outside, and well, we need to unlatch it first. Let's unlatch it, and Bubba, I'm gonna get you outside. Here we are. So we've landed at Boundary Bay, and registration of my aircraft, by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Charlie Foxtrot CF, those are Canadian pre-registration letters, and then Delta Echo Whiskey happens to be my initials of my name. And there we are. I want to thank everyone for joining me on this journey, and I look forward to doing shorter hops on the next time. 10-minute hops, 20 minutes at the most, visiting all the islands of the San Juan area in the Pacific Northwest. So until we meet again, I want to thank you very much for flying Simair flights, and I am Dade Simair. Keep flying.
Foxtrot Bravo Bravo, pull up and go around.
Go around, Foxtrot Bravo Bravo.
Tower India Echo Lima, downwind 13, touch and go.
India Echo Lima number 3, follow Cessna left base, turning 1 mile final.
India Echo Lima.
Foxtrot Bravo Bravo Tower, fly runway heading.
Fly runway heading, Foxtrot Bravo Bravo.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land runway 13.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, change of plans, crossover midfield, join right downwind runway 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, crossover midfield, join the right downwind for 13.